3.
Where's that dance at, my man?
Dance?
Yeah.
I gotta do it every time?
Yeah, it's your thing. There it is. He's so hippie. Got a lot of hips. Hips there.
It's because I'm Latinus.
Oh, that's why. Welcome back to Idiotssyncratic. Hoes.
Welcome back.
You made it. You made it here again, time after time.
Hey.
Hey, hoes.
SpaghettiOs?
Yeah. This is big episode 15. 15.
Oh, shit. Too many.
Dang it. Shit.
That was like 30. Oh.
We made it, boys. We came back from the grave from last week. Literally from the grave, because our guest, Scooty Pooty, works on dead people.
He's a necrotechnician.
Necrotechnician. King Cadaver.
Necronician.
Yeah, necronician. Cuts up bodies for a living. It's pretty cool. Even that statement itself is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know what I just realized that I should have asked him? Like, what's the monetary part of it? You know, like they pay him to make the sections, or like I don't.
Do they pay him per limb?
Maybe. I don't. Like we need this body quartered. I was like, all right, well, I'll get my horses.
Ew.
Do you think they still use horses to quarter bodies?
Is that when you pull them in half?
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, maybe.
But
there's horses out there that need jobs.
They're probably dead though, instead of alive, like in the medieval days.
No, do it alive. You get a nice fresh body to work on. You don't want it to stink. You don't want it to be old and moldy. No, man, you want a nice, fresh, warm body. So Scoot, call in. Leave us a voicemail. Tell us how that works. Do you get paid per limb? Per square inch of a body?
Or is it per job? I don't know.
I think it's more per limb. Per
limb?
Per cut, per slice.
Oh, that's big money.
Yeah, that's real big money.
Unless it's cheap, it's like 50 cents a slice. That's actually still a lot. I can make a lot of slices.
Yeah. Am I doing it right?
Double fist of scalpels.
Ew. So, on today's big episode 15, we're going to be getting into... Let me pull it back up. We're going to be getting into... we're all probably going to die.
Probably.
And hail humans, which we figured out we could be talking about the same thing, kind of, but also different sides of the same coin.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of on the opposite, sort of. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be similar.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Seemingly, we still don't really kind of know. We just, by vague hinting to each other, we've surmised that they're probably the same thing or close to the same thing.
There might be more similarities than differences.
It might be not. Not
indeed. So, try to guess what we're talking about.
Think about it.
Just
think
do your
it.
absolute best to guess what it is we're talking about.
Yeah, try it out.
Try it out. Piss on me, beat me. You're probably not going to get it, to be honest, because it's... I went real deep on this one.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a heavier episode. Yeah. So if you're just here to laugh or something, then you might just go home sad.
Knowing us, it's probably going to be hilarious.
Hilariously sad.
Hilariously sad. Yeah. Like a black comedy.
Or you just might... Actually, when you hear mine, it might make you want to go out and plant a garden.
After hearing mine, you're going to realize that the garden is futile. This is going to be great.
Is that why I'm going first?
Yep. I want to knock everything down.
Cool.
So go ahead, my man. Interest me.
Okay, here I go.
Pique my interest. Get me hard.
All right. Philadelphia won the Super Bowl. As everybody already most likely knows, Philadelphia, Philadelphians, proceeded to just destroy everything. There were riots.
Mm-hmm.
And
were there any deaths?
I'm not sure. I'll try to get some stats.
Stats.
But I couldn't find any. but you probably can because you're better at Googling than me. But man, I never. What is a triumphant riot? Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, it does.
It's a happy riot.
It's so contradictory.
Are you fucking stupid?
I think they're stupid.
We're so happy. We're gonna burn shit down and destroy things.
Yep.
What kind of fucking Neanderthal mongoloids are these people?
Yep.
Like, think about it.
When you
when was Justin? When was the last time you were so happy that you were just like, I gotta break
gotta
it.
kill people, I gotta break everything.
Let me write obscenities on walls.
I've never flipped a car before, but who knows, man? If we break 117 trillion listeners on this podcast, I might go out and flip a car. Maybe.
Yeah.
But then again, I am a little more sensible than that.
Barely.
Just barely. Just a little bit more.
And I guess whenever you said flip a car, I did think it would be cool if we flipped a car.
See?
So I guess I should try to be open-minded, but I just can't.
How's this for open-minded? I typed in Philadelphia Super Bowl riot on Google, and the top 2 news stories that came up. One's from from Newsweek. It says Black Lives Matter, Philadelphia Super Bowl riots reaction, glaring example of white privilege. Okay. And then
Isn't Philadelphia really black?
Maybe. But I don't think were the cops out there shooting them?
Maybe, probably.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think that's what they're comparing it to. And then the second highest one is Philadelphia finally has a license to party as Eagles bring Super Bowl trophy home from the Guardian.
So that's what they consider partying.
They're pretty on completely opposite ends of the spectrum. One's like, yeah, congratulations, Philadelphia, go out and party. And the other one's like,
you earned it.
Yeah, the other one's like privilege.
Yeah, white.
You racist white pig.
Wait, so is the racist one calling the cops racist? Or the actual rioters?
I think it's probably a combination of both. Right?
Yeah. I don't know why it always has to be about race though, which it drives me nuts.
I think the only reason for that is because of society today. Because there've been so many bad things that have happened lately that have been hinged on race, and I think it's still it's almost like PTSD for people. Something happens, it's like, oh, this must be because of race. Yeah. Even though obviously sometimes it's not about race, but I think that's still on the forefront of people's minds.
Yeah, and if it's a privilege thing, you say like, oh, poor people celebrate differently. They were raised in an environment different than ours. They have more aggressive tendencies because they've been conditioned that way through their upbringing.
Yeah.
I still say you can't hang out with me.
Can't hang out with me.
I still say I don't want you in my country.
Don't want you in my country. I don't want you in my state. I don't want you flipping a car without me.
Here's the thing. If you flip cars, if you break things, if you walk into stores and steal stuff, I don't care if everybody around you is doing it. You're a bad person.
Yeah.
You are a bad person. I don't care if it's a happy riot or, you know what? I'm sorry. I'll take that back. If you are here's when it's okay to riot. I'll give you two examples of when it's okay to riot. If you are a oppressed people and
an uprising,
you're uprising against your dictator.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah.
The other one, it's kind of the same thing, I guess. But if it's like a martial law thing, right?
Yeah.
And your government is just completely off the hinge and they're just oppressing you. But I guess that's the same thing.
Your survival basically depends on you standing up, is what you're saying.
And neither one of those are happy or triumphant.
Yeah. Yep.
You fucking chodes.
And this happens all the damn time. It's crazy that this is nothing new, it's people, for some reason, when it comes to shit like this, don't learn from the mistakes, and
And I almost talked about this on Black Friday, or the whatever podcast we did that was after Black Friday, because it's kind of the same thing, or it's maybe not as bad, but people are shitty to each other just because of some sales. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying if you shop at Black Friday, you're a shitty person, but if you smash an old lady to try to be first in line, you're a bad person.
Yep.
I'm sorry. And I normally don't like to make ultimatums because they're the path to the dark side.
You don't want to go to the dark side.
No, I don't.
No.
But seriously, like Ja Phil? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Ja do feel. I do know what I'm saying.
Okay, and so here, this is... I was really going to not sort of take this stance on this because I feel like it's a little too intense. But the reason why I called it Hail Humans is because I personally, as a human, and this might be humanist of me, but I think that we're the master race.
You pig.
Yeah, and when I say master race, I'm not talking about black or white or Aryan. Well, I'm Mexican, so I can't be Aryan. But maybe you can, I don't know. Even though you're
I can
Mexican.
look Aryan.
Yeah, you're Mexican, but I'm sure you get along with those guys if they're next to you.
We have common interests like
having blue eyes and
and
sunblock,
eating and breathing. I guess
yeah.
that's probably where they stop.
No, but I say humans are the master race because we basically own the world. We have the highest intelligence. We have the most firepower. You know, I don't think any animal can even hold a candle to us.
And what you're saying right now is 100% true, but also on a much larger scale, we are technically the masters of the universe too.
Yeah, that we know of, I guess, but
so far, yeah, and that's gonna feed perfectly into my interest a little later on. But it's a great thing that you brought that up because human beings are the top of the food chain.
Yeah,
for very, very good reason. And unless something terrible were to happen, we will remain top of the food chain.
Yep. And I'm not saying that we should be dicks, okay? I'm just saying that I'm team people. Like Joe Rogan says that, right? Team people. I think you should be nice to animals. You don't have to be an asshole. You know, I'm all for animal rights to a certain extent. I'm not like PETA. You know, I still eat meat and wear leather and things of that nature. But when it comes down to it, I think we're the top race. And much like a certain man from the past, I don't want to compare myself to this guy, but
oh my God, is this Godwin's Law?
No, maybe, but I feel like maybe certain parts of our genetic legacy should probably be cleansed. I'm not talking about any races, right? I'm not talking about black people, white people. I'm not talking about Jews.
we love the Jews here.
I'm talking about Mongoloid people who are too aggressive.
Uncivilized. And just for the record, this is Godwin's Law in effect. You know what Godwin's Law is?
No.
It's genius.
I'm too dumb.
It's the longer a debate rages on, the higher the probability of Hitler being brought into the conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it eventually reaches a point to where you've been in a debate for this amount of time equals 100% Hitler will be brought into the conversation.
Oh, okay. So if it's like a little less than that, then it's 95%.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Godwin's Law in effect.
Yeah. I mean, it really does sound crazy, and I'm not literally saying we should kill all these people or chemically castrate them. It's just a joke, but seriously,
it's time for that shit to phase out, is what you're saying.
It should. It's some Neanderthal shit,
and
there's no place for it.
Yeah, and it has, which is a good thing. This is not too bleak of a thing because historically, crime is at its lowest point in history. I mean, you can kind of see it start to trail down as the years have gone on. So we are becoming
We're on a good trend.
We are on a good trend. We're slowly becoming more civilized and less shitty, but there's those pockets. Those pockets will always remain until we reach that critical mass to where all the terrible source code of our genetics have been wiped off the face of the earth, basically.
Yeah, which won't happen, I feel like, because we're not really. We've kind of transcended natural selection, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you on
which
that.
is probably a good thing. I mean, let's be honest, but
Yeah, I mean, Stephen, if it were natural selection, Stephen Hawking he'd be long dead.
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
and I think the trick is for us to become so involved and so familiar with the human, with everything that has to do with humans, specifically the human condition, that we become the natural selection process, that we stop breeding with
Assholes.
with notoriously violent types of people, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? That humans make smarter decisions, and just by a sheer numbers game, those terrible mentalities and processes slowly start to die off. And I don't think there's a quick way to do it that doesn't involve a literal genocide. I think it's something that has to happen over time, and it slowly has happened over time, which is a fantastic thing. It's no longer okay to go around rounding a group of people up and throwing them in concentration camps. I know that was only okay in certain parts of the world, but that is, by today's standards, that's
not going to happen.
Yeah, that's not going to happen unless
well, hopefully some places.
Unless nuclear war is hinged upon it, like it kind of is right now.
And I guess some would say North Korea is kind of like that.
Exactly, but nuclear war is hinged upon. We can't just go over there and be like, we got to get all these people out of here because then Kim Jong-un hits the button. So it's
he pushes his little button.
Yeah, our button is much bigger.
Okay.
So while I'm totally with you on this, I do think that this stupid idea of broing down and destroying your city because your favorite team won,
or any city for that matter,
or any city, or rioting in general, or I don't even want to call it public disobedience because, like you said, I think there's a time and a place to do that sort of thing.
Right.
But just the general uncivilized Neanderthal type behavior that has no place in the world today unless your survival is hinged upon it, I think that needs to go away. Also, I'm strongly in favor of that. And
even this is an extreme that most people can agree that is bad. But while I was thinking about it, I was equating it to something that's even more on a smaller scale, part of our every single day, which is assholes in traffic.
Yeah.
I think they're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
And I see there's this this theme that I'm kind of getting to, which is I don't understand how people don't get that if you just do what's right for yourself, like if you act selfishly, then it's not what's best for the whole group.
Mm-hmm.
Which what's best for the group is what's best for the individual, like statistically.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
whenever you take traffic, for example, if everybody would drive nice, you know what I'm saying? So you see somebody kind of in front of you with their blinker, you let them in. You don't speed up, and then when they cut you off, because they have to now because you sped up, you get mad at them, right?
This asshole just cut me off. If you had let them in, they wouldn't have cut you off.
Exactly. Stuff like that. If say all of that is gone and everybody drives, I guess nice to each other, civilized. Like you walk on the street, you don't just fucking run around pushing people around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's consequences.
Yeah.
Which people feel encased in their car, so there's kind of no consequences.
Yeah.
But I really believe that this is a utopian thought because this will never happen. But I really believe that there would be exponentially less that doesn't even make sense. But you get what I'm
No, it
saying.
does. That makes sense.
Okay, less accidents, which means in turn the flow would be smoother.
I think statistically speaking, you're right on the money with that. The majority of accidents, especially in the U.S., are caused by idiot drivers. Are
Yeah.
caused by people being assholes to each other, by road rage.
And these people at the base level are putting their own. They think they're putting their needs above other people's needs because I need to get where I'm going.
Yeah,
Fuck everybody else. I don't know them. I don't care what they're doing, where they're going.
yeah.
I just know I need to go where I'm going,
Looking out for number one.
and I'm gonna go there as fast as I can.
Come hell or high water.
Yeah, but when so many people think that way, and then you have accidents every single day, you get there slower as well as everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody is now going slower because there's more accidents. There's more traffic. Everything is worse.
Have you seen how traffic starts?
No.
Is it a-
Bottleneck?
Kind of. Well,
Is it the accordion thing?
well, the actual inception of traffic, and this is it's basically it's almost 100% of the time, unless there's construction or an accident, and a lot of the times accidents are caused by this event happening. But there was a GIF I saw online, and it painted the picture perfectly, because you're always wondering, why the hell is there traffic? You know, there's the idea that, of course, you know, it's rush hour, people are trying to get home, but if you really think about it, that should not impact the traffic level. That should equal more cars on the road. But if all cars are going the same speed limit, that doesn't necessarily equal heavy traffic.
Mm-hmm.
What causes traffic are assholes like that. There's a GIF online that I saw, and say there's 4 lanes of cars, and they're going normal speed. Well, there's one car that will dart out and cut one lane off, and when that happens, it's like you said, it starts the accordion effect, and it kind of backs that up.
Shit.
And then once that happens, it starts backing up the other lanes.
Yeah.
So just imagine, 5,000 cars on the road, and 100 cars are cutting other cars off, and then starting the accordion effect.
Right.
Well, that causes massive rush hour traffic.
And you have all these waves of accordions.
You have all the waves, and then eventually it gets to the point where it does kind of bottleneck, and then every lane is traffic from there on. You know, even though necessarily their lane might not be affected, but it gets to the point where it reaches critical mass, and then it all just kind of scrunches up, and then boom, you got a whole wave of traffic that you're stuck in.
Yeah.
And that's directly caused by jackasses just looking out for number one, trying to get there as quick as they can. I don't care about this guy. Cut him off.
Yeah.
And naturally, a sensible person is going to stop or slow down, which means the car behind him is going to stop or slow down. Car behind him.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
Which also leads to more jackasses being super upset
Being
and
worse.
mad on the road because there's traffic, and then doing the same thing.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me sad, man. I'm not a perfect person, especially with traffic. You know, I think we're all guilty of being assholes in traffic a little bit. But what I don't understand is, and I think these people are related to the rioters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how people can love themselves so much that they see zero wrong in what they're doing, and everything is your fault for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Even like in the situation where I said, you have your blinker on for 3 days, and they speed up because they don't want you in for whatever reason, and you say, fuck you, because I'm already getting in. I've been slowly moving in.
Or
Then they honk at you.
yeah,
And then
or
they drive around and cut you off, and then they get real pissed off.
or you have no choice but to get in. Your lane is ending, and you
Oh,
had plenty of time, and you were just kind of just giving that person behind you enough time, but they start speeding up, and then here comes a median right here, and you literally physically have to get over, or you're going to die.
right.
And it's like, then you got to cut this guy off, and then this guy's super pissed off about it. And then shootings happen. A lot of this shit is
Yeah,
shootings are the ultimate end to stuff like this. It's insane. It's such a
I don't
counterintuitive
understand
process.
why people just can't be better to each other.
I think
It's I don't know why it's such a crazy thought, and I know it's not, but it's almost like an echo chamber.
yeah,
Anybody I talk to will agree with me on this thing, but as soon as you go out in traffic, as soon as you look at shit in the world like Black Friday, Philadelphia riots, you see that there's rampant people who they might as well be sociopaths as far as I'm concerned.
yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, and as kind of a final thought, I'm gonna throw some probably pseudoscience.
Get that possible bro science button ready.
It's not bro science.
Possible bro pseudoscience would be a cool button. We do that a lot.
Possible bro. I can't. I don't say it if I can't spell it. That's a lie. I can't spell most words.
Yeah, you're bad at spelling.
W. I give up. No, but so my final little closing thought is from. So this is how a lot of my science gets effed up because it's probably slightly true because it's from the movie A Beautiful Mind. So this is all from A Beautiful Mind, which if you haven't seen it, I don't know what to tell you.
What are you doing, dumbass?
Yeah, it's kind of old now. But so it's a genius mathematician guy, and spoiler alert, he has like schizophrenia, and it's just about his life. Crazy, right? But it's based on a true story, and I'm pretty sure the math equation he talks about is a real math equation. Because you could like look it up, and I'm looking at it right now, and I'm too dumb to actually say what it is.
Once you start throwing the alphabet in math, that's where you lost me.
Yeah, I think it's called differential geometry is what type of math this is, which, okay. But it's actually a mathematic way to explain how doing what's right for the individual in the long run is not the best for that individual, and doing what's right for the group in the long run is actually better for the individual.
Yeah, makes sense.
So even if you're just completely selfish, you should still be nice to people and not be a dick, because in the long run, that's what's going to make...
It is inherently better for you as the individual.
Right. So just put that in your pipe and smoke it. All right?
Shove that up your butt and smoke it.
Get
better.
I know it's easy to comment on stuff like this. I'm talking about a utopian society is what... But if you're not moving somewhere, what's the fucking point?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We may never get there, but we can try.
I don't think this is some sort of utopian fallacy that you're bringing up. This is something that is literally as easy as just don't be a dick. And it's something that a lot of people, unfortunately, either cannot or will not wrap their minds around.
Yeah.
Not being a dick, just in general in everyday life, is inherently better for you as the individual because it's better for the group, which protects the individual.
And I'm glad you said that, because the don't be a dick part, because, I mean, as long as you've known me, that's kind of been my credo a little bit sometimes. And for every single step of me trying to get through this, I've just wanted to keep saying, don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. Like, it just boils down to that.
Just don't be a dick. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Do not be a dick.
Just don't be a dick.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are going to need to realign themselves with what constitutes not being a dick.
Right.
You know, I think a lot of people's barometers are unfortunately skewed because of their upbringings and because of the type of person that they are. But
and another thing is you can, people all day can say that we're oversimplifying it because there's maybe we're being classist, we're being racist, we're not taking into account all these other variables of people's lives. But I say to that, even for those people, just don't be a dick, and you would be better off than where you are.
Classism, elitism, racism. If people were not dicks to begin with, those things would not exist.
Yeah, hopefully.
There'd be no. The idea of racism itself is a terrible
from
horrible,
people being
dicks, thinking that one specific race is better than the other. It's like, whoa, dude, you're a dick for thinking that.
Yeah.
Just don't be that.
And uneducated.
Yeah.
So people could say, well, not everybody gets the education that you got, or not everybody had the opportunities to learn how to not be a dick. Well, I don't know what to tell you then.
If you're a sane human being who is not schizophrenic, you know what being a dick is and what being a dick isn't.
I was raised racist.
Can't help it. I voted Trump.
Yeah, it's 2018. You have a computer, bitch.
Everybody has a computer
All right, well,
nowadays in their pocket.
what about the Ugandans that don't have computers and they're racist against the, I don't know,
If they have a family,
the Hutsis and the Tutsis or whatever.
Tutsis and Tutsis. If they have a family, they inherently have a barometer that shows them what is a dick and what isn't a dick.
That's a good point.
The most natural form of love is the love of a family member, of having at least one family member,
Yeah.
of being a human being, of understanding what suffering is. And if you don't know what those are, you are a psychopath, a sociopath, or you have some sort of mental illness that prevents you from understanding that.
Yeah, you're some kind of path.
Yeah, you're some kind of path.
You're a dicko.
Mental path. And if you are like 99% of the world who doesn't have those issues, then you should know the difference between right or wrong. And then just don't do wrong.
Yeah.
I know we're, like you said, we're breaking it down to a very basic and I guess minute level of human psychology, but the resolution is that basic.
Right.
It stems from that basic philosophy. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah.
We should publish that paper.
It's the title of my book.
The Just Don't Be a Dick philosophy.
Coming at you 2019.
Coming at you.
Coming at your ear holes.
I love it.
Well, that's all I had on that, my man.
Thanks for getting me worked up.
You're welcome. Now hide your rage boner before you get into your interest.
Oh man. So all right, well, we're gonna go ahead and hop into my interest in which kind of negates everything that you just talked about, only on a massive scale. In the grand scheme of things, it is still extremely important to be a good person in my mind, and to mean something to someone. In just taking religion out of the equation for a second, everybody dies, life goes on, right? We're all going to die at one point or another, and in the grand scheme of things, for how long existence has existed, how long human beings have been here, how long the universe has been here, our life is not even considered a speck on the grand scale, right?
Right. We can't measure how small it is.
It's impossible to measure exactly how, and that's flabbergasting. But to a not a pessimist, but I forget what to a nihilist, that would mean that you can almost equate it to mathematics. That would mean that statistically, life is meaningless, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't believe that, because we have human connections and interactions and love, and I think that's what gives life meaning are the people around you that you have made a positive impact on, that you inherently love.
Yeah.
And even though we may be specks on the grand scale, that you could mean everything to somebody else. You could be somebody else's entire world for that tiny speck of time that you're both there, right?
For sure.
So while, like I said, my interest kind of negates everything you talked about, I don't think it negates 100% of it. Because again, your life, you derive the meaning of your life from the experiences that you have.
Yeah, and another thing is that people all have different meanings.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Or maybe not meaning. What to them is their meaning.
Yeah. No, they do. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe like you said, a nihilist might look at his impact on a grand scale as nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, what does that do for you?
Yeah.
It just makes you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Or you can look at what you're doing around you, and it reminds me of like Achilles in was it Trojan War? Or no, what was the name of the movie though?
Troy?
Was it Achilles? Oh, Troy.
Mm-hmm.
It was Troy. And he's so obsessed with his legacy, and kind of screws his life.
Yeah.
Like, instead of just living his life, he's more obsessed about if people will remember his name. And I don't know, to me, it's just kind of futile thinking.
That's a wasted life.
It's a thought project that is not helpful in any way.
Yeah. And the craziest thing about that, from the nihilism point of view and and I wouldn't even call it glassy-eyed point of view, but I think they're both 100% right in their own right,
Yeah.
which is the craziest thing about it, and which lends credit to the gravity of existence itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, and that leads right into my interest, which is the Great Filter.
Which is what?
And I'll go into it right now. So there's this YouTube channel that I love. It's called Kurzgesagt.
Hey, real quick, don't tell me you're gonna go into it. Just go into it. What's wrong with you?
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. It's like we're not professionals. Yeah, so this YouTube channel called Kurzgesagt, they do a lot of philosophical and scientific videos to kind of explain a lot of the more intricate forms of science and philosophy to the masses, basically. So they're able to kind of condense all the information into something that everybody can understand, and it's an amazing channel that brings to light a lot of things that I'd never heard of and probably never even considered. And one of them is their most recent video, which is about the Great Filter. So the Great Filter is whatever prevents dead matter from giving rise in time to expanding, lasting life. The concept originates in Robin Hansen's argument that the failure to find any extraterrestrial civilizations in the observable universe implies the possibility something is wrong with one or more of the arguments from various scientific disciplines that the appearance of advanced intelligent life is probable. This observation is conceptualized in the term of the Great Filter, which acts to reduce the great number of sites where intelligent life might arise to the tiny number of intelligent species with advanced civilizations actually observed in the universe, which there's only currently one, humans. So like I said earlier, we're the masters of the world. We're also the masters of the universe at this time because we have not observed any other intelligent life.
As far as we know.
In the observable universe. Yeah, as far as we know. And the philosophy behind the Great Filter is that it is either a really, really good thing or a terrifyingly bad thing. So you can imagine the filter itself as a physical filter.
It's what I'm picturing, a giant cigarette with that little white part at
Yeah.
the beginning.
Okay, so
but it's giant.
So we'll put that. So imagine there is
And the world is smoking it.
There's a staircase, right? So
would you say a stairway to heaven?
Yeah, kind of. So the filter can either be behind or in front of humanity, in front of our existence. If it is behind us, then that means that all other biological life within the universe has never been able to make it to the level that we're at, which would explain the fact that we have never found intelligent life in the universe, because whatever the conditions for Earth may be are perfect for organic life to become civilized and intelligent life, to create everlasting life. So while we may have a nuclear war eventually, and we may an extinct event might happen.
We might get hit by a solar flare or a meteor.
There could be anything that could happen that could wipe out most of the planet, but human beings will rise again, essentially. Unless we are totally and completely annihilated, human beings will rise again. That's kind of what separates us from a lot of microorganisms and a lot of other lesser life forms, not only on Earth, but that could be throughout the universe. If the Great Filter is behind us, then human beings are the ultimate race in all of existence. And while that's a good thing, that means that human beings are going to be around for as long as time itself exists. It's also a bad thing for the curious, because that would mean that there probably is no extraterrestrial life out there, no intelligent life out there. There are no advanced civilizations that we can learn from, that we can, grow with, make allies with. There's none of that's there. We truly are alone in the universe, which sounds terrible, but is actually a very good thing, because that's if the Great Filter is behind us. If the Great Filter is in front of us, that means that our extinction event is coming.
Mm-hmm.
statistically speaking, without a doubt, 100%, our extinction event is coming. If there is observable intelligent life in the universe, because that means that they have crossed that filter. The filter is behind them and is in front of us. That also means that
Wait, why does it have to be if they are in front of it, then we have to be behind it?
if they are more intelligent and more advanced than us, then that means that the conditions for their existing is
To eliminate us.
not only that, but it's higher than our condition for existing, and it's to a degree more perfect. So that could there was I don't remember who said it, but if there was intelligent and advanced life in the universe, it's the worst possible thing for us because they would eliminate us because of how volatile we are.
Or enslave us, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they would see the fucking Philadelphia riot and then be like, hey, we need to get rid of these
Exactly,
monkeys.
shit like that. Or they could go back in history and see the mass genocides that we've accomplished. You know, a number of things. We are inherently a volatile species, and if there were a more advanced species than us, they could see us as a threat, and not worth it. You know, they could see us as something that shouldn't exist because it's naturally destroying itself. You know, so why let it exist? Why not just rid it?
Yeah.
Especially if we
Possibly.
ever get to the point where we can start inhabiting other planets or in other star systems and spreading our plague, essentially.
Yeah.
Why not get rid of us?
Or they might be so advanced that they have a more benevolent thought process and try to help us usher in a similar sort of place of where, like, what they've attained, which is hopefully without rioters.
Martin Luther King Jr. tried doing that, and he was murdered for it.
Yeah, I mean, just because he tried and failed doesn't mean that we can't still keep trying.
I 100% agree with you, and I don't think we ever will stop trying, but I always think there's going to be that degree of people who reject that sort of thing. Man, imagine it. Specifically, if advanced aliens were to come down and say, "Hey, we're benevolent, we're way more advanced and intelligent than you guys are, and we're peaceful. So let us help you do the same thing." Imagine all the religion nuts out there who have just had their beliefs completely crushed. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
You know, that's just one aspect of the equation. That's just one group of people. Just imagine other people, just more violent people who are just like, "Oh shit, alien invaders, let's go try and kill them." I mean, we've seen it countless times in movies, you know, when aliens come down, peaceful or not, when aliens come down, the first thing that happens is the militaries all get together and they aim their cannons at whatever's coming down.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the whole basis of this philosophy is that human beings are essentially a plague that is too uncivilized to let survive if it were able to inhabit other parts of the universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, from the point of view of a higher intelligence.
Exactly. So that would mean that the filter is in front of us.
Yeah, so we would be like the flu virus.
Yeah.
Or we're trying to eradicate or something, you know.
So again, that's if the filter's in front of us, then eventually we have our extinction event coming. So again, the two possible scenarios: if the filter is behind us, we're at the top of the food chain, so to speak, and that would explain the rest of the observable universe's inability to reach our level of growth. If it's in front of us, we will eventually run across it if civilization gains the power. So here's an example. If civilization ever gained the power to alter its atmosphere, it will make that civilization's atmosphere 100% uninhabitable 100% of the time. So it's like the adage, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So if we ever gain the power to alter our atmosphere for any reason at all,
we basically have.
We have, and that's global warming to an extent. we will make our atmosphere uninhabitable 100% of the time. It will eventually happen, you know?
Like what happened to the Martians.
That's why they're not there anymore.
And that's why it's uninhabitable.
That's why, and there will undoubtedly be far more advanced and dangerous beings ahead of the filter, like I've said. Also, it's just a numbers game. The more life we find in the universe, the more evidence that we are, in fact, behind the Great Filter. So it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, because that would mean that we are on the step before the filter. You know what I mean? So that would mean that we're right on the cusp of it. If the more life that we find, that shows that we are.
But haven't we only found like single cell organisms so far?
Yeah.
So wouldn't that say that we're?
But we've only observed like this much of.
Well, yeah. Well, that's kind of the problem, isn't it? This is kind of a non-argument because it's kind of petty, I guess. But this is kind of the way I believe is. Thinking about stuff like this is important to I don't know, grasp the universe better in your mind. But personally, I think we're so limited by what we can observe.
Yeah.
And because basically what this is using what we know, which is our planet, as a microcosm for what could be the universe.
Yeah.
Right? And that kind of assumes that what we have observed in our world is kind of the only possibilities, you know? And if I think about it, and I agree because that's all I know, you know? But that's why I say it's kind of a non-argument because, yeah, you could always say all day, all you can argue is what you know. But you can't argue for what you don't know.
And I'm 100% with you with the state that we're in now, with the timeline that we live in. It is absolutely a non-argument because we will never have the capacity to fully gauge any of this to be the case or not. Because we've only discovered this much of infinity.
Yeah.
But here's the thing is that this does become an issue way down the road when we're able to discover this type of thing. You know what I mean? So for us right now, this doesn't even register on a possibility unless for some freak chance we actually did discover, an intelligent life within the universe, which probably will never happen because we don't have the capability for something like that. So that would be like a freak instance.
Or if as technology grows exponentially, we're able to explore other universes.
Yeah.
Multiverse, maybe. If we can prove or disprove
a
lot of that stuff.
The possibilities are, if the universe is truly infinite, then there are infinite possibilities of what can be true and what can happen.
Exactly. Well, that's another weird thing because, yeah, infinity is such a big number. It's weird for us to
grasp,
to even think about.
Yeah. So the one major prevailing theory is that there is no other intelligent life in the universe, and I know that itself is hard to grasp because again we're still dealing with infinity.
Right.
And the theory is that we become every intelligent life within the universe once we have the ability to start inhabiting different sectors of the universe. We're populating it ourselves, so we're the intelligent life that's populating.
Gotcha.
So all these other planets, all these other star systems are just waiting for us to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, and that's assuming that we are in front of the filter.
Right.
Yeah, we won't know that we are in front of or behind the filter until we gain those abilities, or until we just by complete pure accident discover an advanced intelligent life somewhere else in the universe. Then we know for a fact we're behind the filter and our extinction event is coming.
Well, would we be though? Because if we discover another life form, I would assume that being that they didn't discover us first, that we're more advanced than they are. Well, so I feel like that would still put us in front of the filter.
In that case, I think it's just it's a game of time because if we can discover them eventually will be discovered ourselves, especially if we're doing the kind of stuff that we're doing. We're sending satellites out. We're starting to explore a little bit more of our solar system. We're sending out radio waves. We've actively been trying to communicate with the rest of the universe. We've been sending out signals. So just imagine if one of those did get intercepted by a much more advanced civilization.
Yeah, but if you assume that we are the most advanced, then even if we discovered other life forms, we would still be in front of the filter.
Yes.
If assuming that we are the most advanced, which we'll never know. But
whenever I say advanced, I do mean as advanced or more advanced than us. So like if we were,
if we're the same amount of advanced, then I think it is a possibility for diplomacy. There will most likely be wars, right?
Yeah.
And then hopefully,
and then it depends too.
With an equal threat of force from both sides.
Yeah.
Possible diplomacy.
It depends on also what kind of beings these beings are too. Are they
those super aggressive beings from Rick and Morty?
Yeah, the Zorpians.
Yeah, with the arms on their head.
I mean, can they breathe underwater? Can they survive in space without a spacesuit? To what degree?
Can they suck a chode in the party zone?
Can they suck a chode in the party zone? To what degree are they more or less advanced than us?
Yeah, and what kind of vacuum is space? Is it a Dyson?
Because that's a good brand.
Does it have Powerball technology?
Does it cycle the dirt out of the... By the way, how does that happen? Dysons will cycle the dirt out of existence, apparently. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Yes. For I think some of the original ones, it spins the dirt out of the air.
What?
Where does it go?
Okay.
To an advanced civilization on the other side of Omicron Persei 8, Alex.
No, this is what happens. It becomes fractals. It's they become smaller than a neutrino. And then, if so facto, subatomic particles blink in and out of existence, which I actually heard Neil deGrasse Tyson say that everybody who talks about particles blinking in and out of existence doesn't really understand what it means. So,
yeah.
What do I know?
What do we know? We're just idiots.
I don't know anything. We're just thinking about shit that's above our pay grade, but
yeah,
that's why it's fun.
It's also well above our lifetimes.
Yeah.
Well, we won't. Like I said, we will never have to deal with this shit unless we were to accidentally, in some sort of freak coincidence, discover a more advanced life. That's the only way that this would be of any concern. So,
as far as my beliefs of life, I've always been one who enjoys thinking about these things, but I like to just almost not care. If that makes sense.
I mean, you don't have to care about this.
Yeah, I know.
This is not something that requires immediate care or attention. So this is actually why I'm comfortable pondering this philosophy to potentially be true or not, is because I know it's kind of selfish to say, but it doesn't affect me. Yeah. It doesn't affect my offspring. It doesn't affect it will not affect the human race until so far down the line that we won't even be remembered.
I love this because I feel like this whole philosophy is a microcosm of the way me and you both think. Like we both kind of think similar, but just kind of different.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas I personally, since it doesn't affect me, I don't care to decide if it's right or not.
Yeah.
I just chalk it up to I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I think like that, but earlier I wanted to bring up this quote from Bruce Lee.
Is it the water?
As a martial artist. Nah. It's absorb what is useful, discard what is useless. You know? So, I mean, I'm not discarding it. I still like to think about it and stuff, but it's just if it doesn't really enrich myself, I think, to choose a side. And I'm perfectly fine with just being in the middle or just being like, I'm not really sure. That being said, I still enjoy these conversations. I still enjoy going the distance of kind of trying to flesh it out as best I can, just as a mental exercise, I guess.
Yeah. Sparring. And don't get me wrong. This does not affect me in any way. I do think that I have more of I do lean a little more nihilist at times, especially when it comes to stuff like this. But it doesn't overall. This doesn't affect my daily life. This doesn't affect anything that has to do with me. Besides the fact that it's unfortunate if true, and it's something that it's like you said. It's a mental exercise. It's something that I like to see as far as I can possibly go, especially when a theory seems to be sound like this one. It's like, oh, that's crazy. What are the possibilities of this? And you know me, I'll go down the rabbit hole as far as until I can't breathe anymore, basically. And with something as, I don't know, safe as this philosophy is, I think this is one of the best ones to get into for a budding thinker. So somebody who wants to get into, existential philosophy or really your place within the universe, within existence, because it's this kind of puts things into perspective, but it's so far removed from where we are now that it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
It's fun. It's fun to think about. As bleak as it is, if it were true, it's a fun thing to think about.
Yeah.
So just kind of rounding it off.
Wish I was a higher level philosophist, though.
Philosophist.
I haven't even read The Republic.
I haven't either. Plato's Republic.
Yeah.
I need to. I really do want to, but I feel like he is so far, so advanced, so much more advanced than we are, that if I read it, I'm probably going to start zoning out and shit, I got to get back to it. But it's
all I can do is just pick and choose quotes out of context.
You're really good about that,
bitch.
Just kidding.
Oh, bitch.
Oh, Burge. So as amazing as it would be to discover complex life within our universe, it would be fatal as it would signal the beginning stages of humanity's end. Our only hope is to be alone in the vast void that is existence. And again, it doesn't matter. Right now, if you're listening to this, it doesn't matter. Don't end up like the guy on Reddit who was
or also, sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Or also, I would say that if we are the most advanced, if you assume like the advancedness as we are the pinnacle, and we find that we're not the only life forms, but I mean, I guess we'll never know that we are the pinnacle, but assuming that we are the pinnacle in the entirety of everything, which is, if you ponder infinity, it's probably unlikely, but
we have no choice.
Yeah.
We have no choice but to assume that we are the most, because we have no frame of reference besides our existence.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so if we do find other life, but for instance, single-celled organisms, I don't think that would signal the end.
No, because I mean, specifically citing single-cell organisms, that is an entirely plausible thing for us to find, but the fact that those single-cell organisms exist means that they're not going to get to the level that we're at. Yeah, exactly. So they're behind the filter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Word.
So your theory of human beings being the most advanced in the universe is sound.
Like if then.
Yeah. It's sound if then.
Yeah.
And again, because that's our only frame of reference, I think it's safe to kind of use that as our barometer for discussing who we are in the universe and how we
fucking crossed. Am I right?
Yeah. Let's hope there's no aliens out there. And you know what? This brings it right back to your interest. If we are the most advanced and intelligent civilization in the universe,
universe.
How about we start acting like it?
Yeah, we should be more benevolent.
Yeah, you always want to be benevolent.
I can't even spell benevolent.
But you got to be it.
Yeah, just don't be
a dick. That might be the episode title. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Just don't be a dick.
Yeah, that's philosophy.
Sometimes we philosophize.
What is wrong with my tongue this episode?
I think it's that whiskey is getting to you.
I think that whiskey is made of like lidocaine or something.
Holy shit, that's some good stuff. You can pass it over here. But yeah, that's all I had for our existential crisis that we might have coming up or might not have coming up. You never know.
Never know.
The point is, It doesn't matter right now. What matters is stop rioting, you dumbasses.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Yeah, that's a change you can affect. I mean, you might not be able to eradicate rioters, but
Because that's genocide.
yeah, or you might not be able to you might not be able to find out if we are the tip of the spear intellectually. But what you can do is just one person at a time. Don't be a dick to them. That's all you can do.
Spoken like a true, not a dick.
Oh, thanks. You know what? You're not a dick either, bro.
Oh, man, that makes me feel so good. You just made my day, my man.
Yeah.
Am I not a dick?
Uh,
I don't know how I feel about this.
I have a dick.
There we go. All right, so that's all I had for my interest. Yeah. So, yeah, don't be a dick. Get better. Let's act like the most civilized, advanced civilization
Yeah.
in existence.
Yeah, because if we're not and they get here, we want to pretend like we're pretty on par with them.
It means the whites and the blacks are going to have to start holding hands.
Yeah. Because you know what? If that happens, then since we're behind the filter or in front of it, I'm losing track now. Since we're gonna die soon, then all we can do is prolong it, and so just try to be like, don't kill me, please.
Yep.
Hopefully enslave me or something.
Wow, that is so bleak.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. Hope. Yeah.
Hey, I'm just if then. I'm not saying this is my opinion. I'm just saying if then.
That's okay. We're in very bleak territory as it is. We might as well choose the lesser of two evils.
Yep.
Right. I don't want to die. Call me crazy, but I don't want to die. So let's go and hop into some user feedback or listener feedback. I guess we've got a few emails.
I love feedback.
We got a few voicemails.
I love emails and voicemails.
Same here, man. Let's go ahead and start it off with. We'll start off with some emails. We got one from Amanda, and she says, "Just because I already left a voicemail, which we'll get to in a second, I don't want to leave two voicemails. Number one, I've read that not dreaming is actually dangerous. You can go crazy. Scoot is gonna go mad crazy. It might be because of all the bodies he cuts. Remember, he said how he doesn't dream anymore.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And I feel like that might have started when he started at that cadaver job.
Probably.
Yeah. So
because that's the beginning of the end for his sanity.
Yep.
He's in front of the filter or behind it. I forget.
Where even is the filter? And number two, for The Walking Dead, rumor came out instantly when Coral got his bite that he was actually fired. This came from a rant that his father did on Facebook. Yeah. Not sure if anyone has cleared anything up on that. There's also a petition to fire Scott Gimple because of Coral's soon-to-be death. So Chandler Riggs, who plays Coral, his dad commented on Facebook about the whole thing. He said, "Watching Gimple fire my son 2 weeks before his 18th birthday after telling him that they wanted him for the next 3 years was disappointing. I never trusted Gimple or AMC, but Chandler did. I know how much it hurt him, but we do absolutely know how lucky we have been to be a part of it all and appreciate all the love from the fans all of these years." So apparently, not even Coral himself knew that this was going to happen, let alone his most trusted advisors and his loving family knew about it.
If that's true, I wonder what they fired him for. Because it must have been something dramatic.
One theory is that The Walking Dead is notoriously, or AMC is notoriously terrible about budgeting. So they want to minimize the budget as much as possible and maximize profit. Since he was about to turn 18, maybe they fired him so they wouldn't have to pay him extensively more money.
Gotcha.
And that's a theory. We'll never know it until the Russians hack AMC's email server and tells us what happened and leaks those emails. Interesting. Yeah. So that's one. We got an email from Milkman Danny. The subject is Alex is racist and The Walking Dead is shit.
Oh man!
And he sent, this is so good. He sent a picture of, it looks like a food truck. It says, it's like Don't Dead open inside. It says cotton chicken candy nuggets.
Oh my god! It's what cotton chicken candy nuggets.
Cotton chicken candy nuggets.
It's supposed to say cotton candy chicken nuggets.
Yeah, and you'll see it right here. Or I would have posted it by the time we've been reading it because I've been getting better at that. So Thanks, Milkman Danny, for calling us out on stuff, I guess.
Oh no,
Oh my God,
fuck
there goes
that.
my mic.
I'm not racist.
So what's the running thing? You're racist. You smell like shit.
No, I
is
don't.
that it?
I don't smell like shit,
I don't think you smell like shit,
and
dude.
I'm not racist. I literally showered like an hour ago, 2 hours ago.
I watched. He was here at my place showering.
I showered
Saw the whole thing.
in his sink.
And yep. So he doesn't smell like shit.
I definitely don't smell like shit.
He smells like Old Spice.
I probably smell like Justyn because I used all his soap and shit.
That means you smell pretty good.
Mm.
So we got 2 voicemails. Again, one of them is from Amanda, and
Wait, so he didn't say why I'm racist? He just says I'm racist?
no, he just says Alex is racist and The Walking Dead is shit, and then cotton chicken candy nuggets. Thanks, Milkman Danny.
Hey, idiots, love you.
What?
Hey, you
Oh.
bitchassos.
Bitchassos.
So I was trying to listen to y'all's podcast, and I'm trying to do it at a timely manner, but
About time.
I know you're busy, so I guess I will try to listen to it tomorrow if it's uploaded. But I just wanted to be able to compliment y'all because y'all are doing such a great job. And
Oh, thanks.
as one of y'all's friends, I do think that y'all's podcast is very natural. And it's like I'm sitting eating lunch with y'all, and that's literally how y'all sound and what y'all talk about. So keep it up. Bye.
Look
Oh.
at that.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much. We've been working very hard on it,
Yeah.
and also not very hard on it.
We've been working hard enough.
Hard enough. We're hard at work. It's a boner joke. You get it. And
Bam.
here's the second voicemail we got.
Zing.
Hey guys, this is Ashley. I'm a little sick, so please forgive my voice.
Gross.
I was wondering, why didn't you guys potentially think of or maybe consider whenever in The Walking Dead, Carl,
Cool.
if he was maybe a diva, and that's why they got rid of him. They just killed his ass because
Oh, yeah.
he was just a freaking diva and getting everybody upset. So they were just like, we don't need you. So I think that's a possibility as to why I didn't follow the comic.
That's a good
So-
point.
Thank you. Bye.
It's especially more good, much more good now that we actually know, well, allegedly that he was fired. So maybe he was being a diva.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. He was on the show since I think he was like 7 or 8, something
Yeah.
ridiculous. He was a baby, and
And-
imagine growing up in the limelight
Yeah,
like
in
that.
Hollywood. And not only that, but knowing that you're basically the Luke Skywalker. The Luke Skywalker.
Of the series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and he, I know, I read an interview with him, and he said that he was an avid Walking Dead comic book reader, so he knew everything that was going to happen.
Yeah.
He knew that he was going to be the star of the show eventually.
Yeah.
Potentially, he could have let that get to his head. Could have been a total dick, a total
It's been
diva.
a nightwear. God, what is wrong with me today? I can't talk.
Can't talk.
He could have been a nightwear to work with.
Yeah, nightwears galore. Yeah. So thanks for bringing that up, Ashley. Maybe he was just a little diva and a little asshole. Who knows?
Yeah.
Those 3 voicemails that I mentioned last week, can't play them because they're basically ruined. But I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna read the transcriptions because they're so bad. So part 1, I left my life feels like a good morning. I don't know if they're damn it. Anyways, it's probably really loud because I'm driving pretty windy, so I don't even know if we can. This is like a bad lip reading. Unique way I forgot to say the last all that. What's the bottom bitch and he does not like? And I forgot to confirm it, and somehow, man, like PC, the girl's out.
Okay.
Here's part 2.
PC, the girl's out.
PC, the girl's out. Hey, Scott again.
Scott? Who's Scott?
I don't know. I forgot that. And when I pause, there's a period there. I'm a couple of my fellows as I hung up. I assume England Modern Warfare Day. He's going to be like this because I've had some firms of medicine. So this is my second confirmation code.
This is horrible.
This is so good. We got it.
We got it.
We got it. We threw out there to make, and then I also wanted to say, I listened to your podcast on the day is gone, probably exactly when they drop. I'm just constantly sitting in the dark spot, which lane with not progressing at my podcast that I need to come on like this. I might.
Is he asking to be on the podcast?
I don't know what is happening. Maybe I think I might be getting. This might be painting the picture for me. What he's trying to say. Man over there putting other podcast. I had listened. Yeah, at that at me, man. I didn't mean.
What?
Yeah, and then the last part. Jiu-jitsu. Please call Rocky Concern.
Rocky Concern.
Are you out there, Rocky Concern? What was that other thing we had? Where is it?
Oh, Rocky Concern.
PC the girls out.
Man, that Google Voice transcribe technology is
So good.
dog shit.
It is so good. So
Hey, I wonder if they'll hire me to transcribe people's voicemails.
yeah, we can do it. Let's just send. They should hire the bad lip reading guys.
Yeah, PC,
Yeah, that is
PC the girls out.
Hey, PC the girls out, dude. Come on. All right, so if you want to leave a voicemail or a very bad transcription, you can do that at 682-422-9458. If you want to email us, you can do that at idiotsyncraticpodcast@gmail.com. So, yeah, there it is. Thanks for...
If we have any listeners who are philosophically inclined and maybe actually
Philosophizers.
better read than we are,
Yeah.
I would like to hear your hot, steamy takes on today's episode.
Yeah.
So give us a call, give us a email,
Yeah.
try it out.
Try it out. Give us a bad voicemail. Piss on me. Beat me.
Yeah, much love, no hate.
Much love. No hate. Just stay glassing.
All right, my man. I guess that's an episode.
I think that's a good one. Cotton chicken candy nuggets.
Chicken dickin',
Chicken dickin', cotton chicken dickin', candy nuggets.
candy dicks.
Candy dicks. Don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah, candy dicks. You know what I like about nuggets? You could dip them in all different types of sauces, such as ranch, such as barbecue sauce, and such as America.
That's what I like about dicks, too.
Oh!